Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. All right, Taurus, so tonight, we're going to start with that energy of the wheel. The wheel. So what's all up in the air for you? What is going on that maybe a decision needs to be made? Maybe that leap of faith needs to happen. I feel that this card is not always one that indicates success, of course, but also not failure, right? It's dwelling in that place of, it's like you have the whole recipe together. You have all the ingredients in there, right? You're making soup. We'll go with soup because that's a lot of different stuff, a lot of variables. And you got it going, but you taste it and you just know there's just something. What's that taste? Does it need a little bit of acid? Does it need, maybe a little bit more of that, stock taste or, whatever it is. And then we have the wheel, right? We have that, is it going to happen or isn't it going to happen? Is it going to go red? Is it going to go black? How do we know? I don't know. We're going to wait and see. But we need that element of one, mystery, but two, luck, fortune. Hopefully the universe smiling down upon us. Now, we're going to get going here. We're going to see what these tea leaves have to say about all of this. And I want to say thank you so much for, my shirt is inside out. I just realized. Listen, at the beginning of every reading I say, I'm doing these readings for you tonight. It is actually still tonight for some people. It is very early in the morning. I get up often around 5. And get dressed in the dark, so I don't wake up anybody or the cats or anything. And so, you'll have to bear with me. I had not looked at it again to check to see. All right, so thank you for being here with me. It's always such a pleasure to be able to do these readings for you. If you want to subscribe, or leave a comment, it really does help the channel a lot. Those of you that have been to the channel have watched other readings. I don't love doing the opening spiel thing. So let's get to it. Let's just get right in there. Also, but before we do that, actually, I want to just mention, if you have a prayer request, a prayer request for myself or even for my husband. Okay, I know a lot of you listen to my husband over at Dove and Serpent Tarot. His name is Paul. We pray together. We absolutely do. And so, if you are trying to get through to him, get through to me, it all kind of ends up in the same place. And so if you do have those requests, you can put those in the comments, or you can email them over at ulaishere@gmail.com. So let's see. It feels to me very much like there's a feeling of being haunted by, I don't think it's like a literal haunting or poltergeisty, like a manifestation of your psyche kind of thing. I don't think it's like physical phenomena necessarily, but it just feels like you're like walking through life And I don't know if it's like you're looking for somebody, like you keep seeing like somebody that you maybe have, that has preceded you, that you have lost, or maybe it is like somebody beloved to you, and you know, something happened, you separated, or moved on, to different continents or something. But if you can see here, we have a person here. We have another person over here. Now, this person looks like they're walking into the future, right? Walking away from this person, or maybe not walking away from them, but, they're walking in a direction that is away from this person. Not trying to get away from them. But it does feel like it's almost kind of like you almost get to them to say, hey, and then all of a sudden they're gone. Right? You can't catch up. This feeling of chasing, but it is, kind of this almost like a melancholy frustration. Okay? A melancholy frustration. Or maybe a frustration that leads to a sense of melancholy. This kind of, it's never going to be. I'm never going to, be able to feel them again, or be in that golden place that we once had. Those moments, the laughter, the little smiles across the room, and the dancing, and the crying, and the sometimes the anger, and the making up, and all of the stuff. It feels very potent, warm, like a hot summer night, when you are in the house. Well, maybe not so much now. A lot of us, not everybody, but a lot of people have AC, right? Some kind of cooling system, or fans, or whatever. But back in the day, it was like windows and bowls of water and ice, and if they were lucky enough to have ice, and these kinds of, there were lots of different really interesting ways that people cooled their houses. But my point is, coming into, and I'm imagining like a house, right? Like almost like a southern kind of open porch, and walking up into the home. All of the lights in the house are on, and you are hit by that thick, humid heat that's just living in the house, right? And you walk in, and it's like going into just a very warm environment, but it feels full, and it feels like pregnant, right? It's pregnant with, heat, humidity, all of that. Now, apply that to the feeling of love, right? It is a passionate, but it burns slow, almost like, mini embers. And I feel like for you, there's a sense of it like slipping through your fingers every time you start to be able to recall, to feel, to immerse yourself in this belovedness. It's gone again. And it almost kind of feels like it is this like re-traumatizing over and over. It really like gets into that place within you, and this might be something that's decades old, 30 years ago. And if you linger on the thought long enough, that feeling, that feeling in your throat, when you're about to cry. I feel like I've had that a lot lately. Let me just say, and it's not about any one thing. I really think it's just been a lot about the heat. I've been in the sun a lot. I work outside a lot. So it just, into that place of just very sensitive, just the slightest little word. And it's not the stuff that you think it's going to be, right? It's like kind of that joke, like you're crying over commercials, that kind of thing. Just, welling up over the beauty of things. Oh, that I can't believe that I get to be here kind of things. And some of the letdowns and all of these things. But I do feel you have just been in such a highly potent emotional place, okay? And I wonder if this situation, it's not only core to your belovedness, your experience of high love, right? It might also be the place that you kind of go to, when your current now life might be challenging. And so you start to lament. You start to go back to these old hurts. Or maybe it is, you start doing really well. Things are going your way. You can't believe it. And you feel guilty about that. And you start to think, what if? Or it should have been. And you go back to this place, and it's not a thing of intentional healing or processing or, trying to integrate a little bit, right? Process through that grief, that loss, the abandonment. But this is like I return to these memories, I return to these feelings, almost kind of to, punish yourself because you feel guilty. I think they call it survivor's remorse. I don't know. But I think it, often it is something akin to feeling like, why am I the one that keeps going? But I think that, there is also such a sense of love flowing upwards and downwards. I feel like that this person, if they have transitioned from their corporeal body, their physical body or not, if that means like what? They might still be alive and well out there in the world. It could be that they have moved on. Look, it says Ula. Ha. Thank you, universe. Good morning to you. Good evening to you. So I feel like you're meeting in dreams. I don't think it's just like you're dreaming of them passively. I feel like you're having, maybe not like constantly, but once in a while, you have these dreams that feel so real. You wake up thinking, gosh, that felt like I was right there with them. And I feel like that is exactly where you are doing the work here. And you might recall some of it, maybe not so much. Maybe you remember all of it. Maybe you're like a very advanced astral traveler or lucid dreamer. Now here's the bed, right? And we can see there's like shadows cast and overhead though, here's the other thing that I keep looking at and I'm like, what is going on here? It looks like either a dog's head or a pig's head. You can see the ears right here and it looks like they're wearing sunglasses and here is the nose. It looks like a snoot. So I'm guessing it's like a pig, but wearing sunglasses, I don't know. I'm not gonna, this is sensitive area here, but I kind of almost feel like it's like that saying when HE double hockey sticks, freezes over. Pigs, what is it? Or no, maybe I'm conflating two things. Yes, when pigs fly. There we go. When pigs fly. So I feel like this is like leading up to, or maybe you are really starting to hone in on a dream, a goal, just like one of those like things that we really, oh my gosh, one day I would love to. This is, one of the things I've been wishing for many years, and, it's never worked out. It's never aligned in such a way that you could do this thing. Like go like climb K2 or something, or travel across, India, or whatever it is. I don't know. I'm trying to think besides travel, starting a company, starting a family, whatever it is. But I feel like, you have spent a lot of time wanting for this, but also almost kind of negative self-talking your way out of actually, pursuing the thing. Now, it could be that this is like a career that you have always just kind of, I don't have the time to go to school. I don't, there's no way that I could ever do this or that, or, and you just kind of negative self-talk your way out of a lot of stuff we do. And most of the time I would say, maybe not negative self-talk, but like being logical, right? Just being reasonable, doing the list. I'm a Virgo. I like to do lists. I like to really look at like the pros, the cons, the maybe shifting things, and then make a decision. But I feel like here, there will be a very clear, it's not going to be ambiguous at all. This is going to be very clear to you. This is an opportunity for me to, do whatever, begin this journey. And, I feel like for you also, it might be aligned right in the very particularly special time where you might actually really go for it. There's the motivation there. I feel like you're having maybe a little more resources to be able to do the thing. Time resources, resources of maybe some money, investing a little money into this venture or this hobby or this project or travel or whatever it is. But it all comes together, and it really is this kind of like when pigs fly. Well, now they're flying. They're absolutely taking to the skies. So we have, it looks like, maybe Brittany, the name Brittany down here. It looks like it's like BRI, and then I'm not gonna pretend. I don't know how to spell Brittany exactly, but in my head, I'm like, I can see it. Or Brit. B-R-I-T. The T is down here. So I feel like maybe somebody named Brittany, maybe it is the UK. We also have a bat. So I wonder if you were switching to more of a nighttime role in your life, if maybe you have got, got some kind of job going on that's going to have you working at night. Or maybe you are a person that is naturally like a night owl, right? That is when you feel most yourself. And maybe for a lot of your life, at least the last years, you have been on the day side. You've been living that daytime life, doing the family thing or the work thing, or, just trying to sometimes I feel like we know what is right for us, but we like see these kind of guidelines that shift constantly, by the way, but that it's healthier or, it's more this or that to be awake during the day doing. Well, now we live in a world where really you could even find so many jobs where, you don't have to abide by the waking up early in the morning and, doing all the stuff when the sun's out. And even though I am a day-sider, I have a young daughter, I so look forward to when I can start to get back into the night. I am definitely a night person. And although I do love the day, I really do. I like getting up early in the morning before everybody else. And but I feel like for some reason a shift towards the night. And I feel like this is a relief to you. That's the biggest thing. It feels like you can breathe again. Like all of a sudden you didn't even realize there was this like oppressive weight. And like, I even wonder if you had been having some trouble with sleep for like an extended amount of time, long enough that you started to think that there was like, maybe you had to go do like a sleep study or something. And I really think a lot of it has to do with it. You are just more naturally inclined to being up into the night and maybe sleeping a little later. So I know this might sound like a frivolous thing to a lot of people, as they're like, okay, so I came to see a reading and you're talking about my sleep schedule. Well, you know what? This is one of the most core things to life. I mean, it is absolutely one of the most fundamental things. And if you are any kind of practitioner, I'm talking magical, right? The occult or magic or whatever, you will quickly learn that our sleep is so important to the work. Both like overtly, but also as, again, a fundamental aspect of being able to use this flesh suit that we have to do the work in the material world, right? And sometimes there's even, use of staying awake for longer amounts of time to get into, altered states or whatever to do certain kinds of work. And so sleep, balanced or unbalanced on purpose, is a total key not only to occult work and spiritual work and religious work, but to our health, right? And the health is a big deal, right? Physical, mental, spiritual. Now, our health looks different. Everybody's health is different. I'm not going to say there's any like perfect formula. So don't think that's what I mean, but I do believe that sleep is fundamentally one of the most important things. Like, probably if it was like a trinity for humans, it would be definitely part of the trinity, right? So sleep is important. And I am happy to see that you will be returning to a schedule that maybe is more beneficial for your sleep. So also, it looks like we have a gathering of some kind. It feels like it's a daytime thing. It almost feels like a garden party or like a dinner outside. It feels mostly like it is women or feminine people. And I say this because I mean, it's the laughing, the way they're laughing, and talking to each other. It sounds very like musical, not flirtatious, but enchanting. Okay, the way that, and it does almost feel close, like family, maybe best friends, or a group of people that went to school together and kept in touch, or maybe it is sisters, possibly. But I feel like coming together, but here you can see there's also, and here are the people up here. But you can see there's a serpent as well. And I do feel, we have the apple right next to it. So I do feel like there is some kind of revelation that is taking place. Okay, so it seems like there is some kind of, I don't know, some kind of like news, or maybe it was like a secret that came out, or, some kind of family business, or whatever it is. And I feel like this is a thing that is going to impact everybody. And so I feel like this maybe is the last time everybody will be together before this thing really kind of affects everybody starts to find out about it. So here's the number 42 for our first lucky number. Funny because we just had that one, and somebody commented about Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So I always love to see any kind of reference to. So I do feel, though, number 22 is our second lucky number. I do feel like this will bring you all closer together. I don't think this is going to be a thing that is destructive to the, how woven together you all are. No, I think it only makes you stronger and, more trusting of one another. I think that's the big thing, more trusting. I think there's a really, a moment where you can really look around and see that you all have grown into these beautiful beings, beautiful people, beautiful personalities, very caring and courageous, not only for self, but one another. Okay. Now, let's do our last lucky number. It is number 5. Number 5. Okay. Now, we're going to finish with our wild offering oracle cards. Okay, I'm gonna no, they're not oracle. Are they? Yes, they are. I always mix up affirmation or oracle cards. So I have to always look. Okay, we're gonna stop where it feels right. And it says trust. There we go, trust again. When love is invited to take over, right actions arise at the right time. Allow me, dear divine, to wait patiently until the timing is right. Let me rest in the unknown until a clear path is shown. Until a clear path is shown. All right. Taurus, I love you. Wholly and absolutely. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for sharing your time with me. It is always such an honor. And if you want to subscribe, or leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. Other than that, I just want to say again, I hope everybody is well. We've been having such a heat wave in the United States. I hope everybody is able to stay cool. I hope, all these different weather events and stuff that are going on, and the other things that are happening in the world, everyone is safe. And I love you. I love you. I wrap you in my heart. If you are struggling, if you are, looking for some kind of ease in your life, a reprieve from all of this, hurt and chaos and struggle. A lot of us have in different parts of our life. We all have our things going on. And so anyways, I hope I hope in this next week-ish, right, that things really, really go your way. All right. I love you. We'll talk soon. Good night.